Welcome, I'm Tom Glazer, and today we'll be doing an intermediate yoga flow with the theme of mindful self-compassion. So we'll start in a comfortable seated position, and if it's comfortable for you, close your eyes. If not, it's just fine to have the eyes open, perhaps choosing a spot in front of you a few feet ahead and on the ground or on the floor. Just have a nice soft gaze. And just tuning into your breath. Just noticing what it's like without changing anything. To breathe in your body right now. What happens in your body as you breathe in. And notice what happens in your body as you breathe out. And allowing the spine to elongate and reach up toward the sky through the crown of the head, simultaneously grounding down to the earth, allowing the earth to meet you, to greet you, to hold your weight, surrendering to gravity as you continue to breathe easily and naturally. Lengthening the spine up to ground down through the earth, through the pelvis. Expanding the lungs, expanding the chest, coming into the present moment. Yoga is about yoking the mind, the body, the breath, the spirit, and the heart. And if you like, you might place one or both hands over the heart and feel the weight of your hand or hands and the body temperature exchange between your chest and your hands, your palms. And imagine your palms are infused with self-love. In through your hands, soaking in through the heart to every cell of the body comes self-acceptance, unconditional positive regard, openness and celebration of all that you bring to the world, all your many gifts, even those spots that might need a little polishing, just completely surrounded with love. Self-acceptance, and we'll bring this spirit with us as we go through our sequence today, accepting whatever is, celebrating all that we are, being free of judgment from whatever comes up in our bodies as we move through the flow. Infusing this spirit of self-love with our yoga today. Taking one more deep breath in and one more deep breath out. Fluttering the eyes open if they were closed, allowing the hands to move down. And then let's meet on our backs. So here, allowing the feet to just flow away from each other and allow the arms to be relaxed at an angle to your sides. And again, just really soaking in that earth energy. Breathing deeply and naturally, perhaps extending the out breath by another beat or two the next time you breathe out. A longer out breath, of course, naturally propels a deeper in-breath. Great. And on the next in-breath, inviting the right knee up toward the chest. And gently pulling it in toward the chest. Wherever it goes, is exactly where it's supposed to go right now. Just a gentle pull in, and then begin rotating the ankle in one direction. One more full deep breath in and out, and then reversing the circle with the ankle. One more deep breath in and out, inviting the ankle to stillness, and then releasing the knee with your hands, and then circling the leg at the hip in one direction, making some big circles in one direction and the other. Returning the knee to the chest on the next in-breath, and on the next out-breath, release with the right hand to the floor, guiding that knee across the body with the left hand coming as close as you can just toward the ground or the floor. And it's just fine to have your neck toward your head toward the left or looking up. If it's available, extend your right hand along the earth or the floor toward the right and look toward your thumb. Take a deep breath in and a deep breath out. Really luxuriate in this supine twist. On the next in-breath, bringing that knee back toward the chest. Exhale, floating that leg up and back down, parallel with the other. Breathe in and bring the left knee up toward the chest. Keep breathing and circle the ankle in one direction. And the other. Remembering our palms possess that incredible energy of self-love. So whenever our hands touch our bodies, come back to that mindful self-compassion. Releasing the left knee with your hands and drawing big circles with the knee in one direction, continuing to breathe, yoking the breath and the body in the other direction, yoking the heart and the spirit with the breath and the body. Bring that knee back to the chest, releasing with the left arm, using that right hand to gently, softly guide the left knee over the body toward the right. If it's available, looking toward that left thumb. Again, if that's not good for your neck, it's just fine to look up or to the right. Breathing deeply. Accepting whatever is coming. The deep and pure heart. Infusing your whole being with unconditional self-regard. Positive regard for the self. Celebrating all that we are. Imagine on the next out breath, any judgment just flowing out of your entire being. Let that go. Breathe in and return that knee to the chest. Breathe out, lift the leg up, and then return it down, parallel with the other. And just taking a moment here, take a deep breath in, and a deep breath out, just beginning to incorporate even these small movements. Let's roll over onto our right side and bring the knees nice and close to the chest into a fetal position, using the left arm to gently prop yourself up. And then swinging the knees around and behind you into our first tabletop. So the palms are beneath shoulders and the Knees are directly below the hips. You can tuck your toes, or if it's more comfortable, just leave them flat on the ground. I often like to tuck my toes. It just feels a little more stable in my body. So breathe in and arch the back and look up. Breathe out and round the back. To our cat and cow, follow your own breath. Beginning to really bring some movement into that spine. Exhale, round. Inhale, arch, and look up. Then come back into neutral. And then you can curve the spine, kind of making a banana shape with your spine. The head and the hips both go in the same direction, making a C, reverse C, and then free flow with your spine, moving the hips, moving the spine. You might go in circles, small or large, one direction and then the other. And when you're ready, come back into neutral. And now we'll tuck our toes, and we're going to invite the hips up toward the sky and the heels back toward the earth into our first down dog. Really distributing the weight evenly through the palms, the feet. You might pedal out your feet one at a time. Always moving the hips up. And always breathing easily and naturally. You might shake or nod your head to release any tension there. And then take a couple of breaths in stillness here. Now we'll shift our weight forward, coming up on the toes. Again, the shoulders are over the palms into plank position. And just hold here. And then we'll lower our weight to the earth, keeping the elbows tucked nice and close in, and coming all the way down. And just again, taking a moment here, perhaps bringing the palms beneath the head, and the forehead to the stacked hands, and breathing here. Accepting all that is coming up, infusing this entire experience with self-love and self-acceptance. So we'll come back into tabletop, lifting up, inviting the hips up, back into down dog. And now let's invite the right foot up into three-legged dog. And on the next in-breath, see if you can bring your foot as close as you can in between your hands. Here you want the knee directly above the ankle. And you can lower that back knee a little bit into runner's lunge. Breathing here, accepting all that is coming up. Yoking the breath and the body, the heart and the spirit. Now lifting up and planting that back foot and making sure your weight is evenly distributed. See if you can bring your hands up in parallel and up into Warrior One. And again, breathing here, really experiencing your power, coming into yourself. This is fierce self-love, fierce way of accepting who we are. And let's bring those hands back down. See if you can come up back into three-legged dog by kicking up. Back into down dog. Down through table. And let's do our first child's pose of the day. So inviting the hips back toward the heels. Knees can be nice and close. Try that out. Or the knees can be as wide as the mat. Forehead to the mat or the earth. And take a couple deep breaths here. Coming back up into tabletop. Back into down dog. Do the same thing on the other side. So inviting that left foot up into three-legged dog. Looking between your hands, bringing the foot as close as you can there. Always want that knee to be directly above the ankle. Take a few minutes here in runner's lunge, lowering that back knee. You can go all the way down if you like, or you can stay up a little bit if you want it to be a little more intense. Taking a few breaths here. Anchoring that back foot at a little bit of an angle. Making sure you're planted well on both feet. Releasing with the hands and then swinging them up into Warrior One. And again, experiencing your power. Coming into yourself, claiming your place, claiming your space. A teacher of mine used to say, we have seniority in our space. So claiming your seniority, that's part of self-compassion. Lowering the hands. Planted, the weight is coming into my hands. Letting go with that front foot. Back up into three-legged dog. Coming down to down. Lowering through table, back to child's pose. And after a few breaths, we'll come back up. Quick table, coming up back into downward dog. Again, we're going to lift that right foot up into three-legged dog. Swing it through. Planting the back foot at an angle. Coming up into Warrior One. And then we're going to switch it into Warrior Two. So here we want to switch the position of our feet just a little bit. So for Warrior Two, the back foot is parallel with the back of the mat. Front foot is parallel with the sides of the mat. The heel of the foot is in line now with the arch of the back foot. Arms come parallel. Always want that knee to be over the ankle. Looking out over the front middle finger. Reverse the warrior. Coming back. Looking up if you can. Again, it's just fine. Take care of your own neck. No problem looking down or forward or up. Back through Warrior Two. And then we'll come down, lowering the front arm. Swinging the rear arm up. Looking up if it's available. Coming back through Warrior Two. Let's straighten the front knee, bring both feet parallel to the sides. And let's swing down, letting go, breathing easily and naturally here before we turn to the other side. So into Warrior 2 on the other side, knee always directly above the ankle, front heel in line with the back arch, looking out over that middle finger. Reversing the warrior. Taking a few breaths here, taking care of your neck. Looking wherever's comfortable. Back through Warrior 2. Exalted Warrior. Breathing deeply and naturally. Again, imagining as we move and as we're in stillness, accepting what is coming up in the mind. Infusing our whole sequence back to Warrior 2 with self-love. Feet parallel. Once again, really letting go, coming on down. You might ragdoll your arms here and go back and forth a little bit, really letting go. In the neck by shaking and nodding. And then let's begin to bring our feet together. And from here, let's swan dive the arms up. Looking up at the sky and arching the back just a little bit. And then cactus the arms. This is a heart opener, really helpful in self-compassion. So opening the heart to all that is. Wide open, as if the heart itself is smiling at ourselves. Coming back up, joining the palms, bringing them back down to the heart. And then inhale, lifting the arms up. Swan dive all the way down. Go up into a halfway lift. Back down. Swan dive. Reverse swan dive. Arms up. Palms together. Down into prayer. Inhale. Looking up. Swan dive down. This time, let's bend the knees, let the hands will come down into a plank, lowering to the ground into a chaturanga, meeting back in downward dog. And let's walk or hop up. Meeting in a forward fold. Inhale to halfway lift. Exhale. Back into forward fold. Inhale, coming all the way up. Reverse swan dive. Exhale, down into prayer. And taking a moment here. Breathing easily and naturally. Deeply, beginning to incorporate the practice. We'll do a simple balancing pose from here. Let's just do tree. So shifting the weight into the left foot, bringing that right foot, the sole of the foot, either to the thigh, if that's available for you, or to the lower leg, if that's more available. Choosing a drishti, that's the steady eye placement, aids with balance, and just taking a few deep breaths here. Releasing that, shaking it out if you need to. Back into mountain. Choosing your drishti, finding a steady place to look across the way. Shifting the weight into the right, inviting the sole of the left foot, upper leg or lower leg. And taking a few breaths here. Of course, it's always an option to cactus the arms up. Lately, a lot of my students have been liking victory pose as they do tree. Okay, and coming out of your tree, shaking that out. And we will meet on the earth for our final pose, Shavasana. So, once again, allowing the earth to totally accept your weight. The earth holds us our whole lives. Closing the eyes if that's comfortable for you. Letting go of any unnecessary tension in your whole body from your head to your toes. It's just fine to have your eyes open if you prefer. If so, just have a nice soft gaze. And tuning back into your breath. And if you like, perhaps bringing one or both hands to your heart. Just allowing this practice of self-love, self-acceptance, self-compassion to seep in through your whole body and just remain in silence for a few moments. Releasing your hands if they were over your heart. Taking another deep breath, the body completely released onto the earth. And then perhaps beginning to wake up the body by rubbing the tips of the thumbs, the tips of the fingers, wiggling the toes and the fingers, and then circling the wrists and the ankles in each direction. And then let's just take a nice whole body stretch all the way from the very tips of the fingers to the very ends of the toes, completely letting go. One more deep breath in, one more deep breath out. Rolling over onto your right side, bringing the knees nice and close to the chest into fetal position. Gently bringing yourself up when you're ready. With the left hand meeting back into a comfortable seated position. Thank you for joining me today. It's my pleasure to guide you through one of the passions of my life, yoga. I hope that it helps you to yoke your body, your breath, your mind, your spirit and that you infuse all your activities with self-love and radical self-acceptance. Namaste.